As success stories go, Mr. Rental is a great example of how to turn opportunity and a good idea into a thriving and steadily expanding business network. It all started on Bribie Island, north of Brisbane, back in the late 80s. Glen Hickman and his wife Kerry Ann had set up a video library and were renting a few VCR players and TVs to holidaymakers as well. Somebody asked Glen if he could also supply a washing machine, so he rented one from another company to help out. Soon they were making more from renting appliances than videotapes, and in 1991 Mr. Rental was born. 10 years later they'd expanded and polished their business model and embarked on franchising it. Now there are more than 70 Mr. Rental outlets in Australia and New Zealand, with more to come. They've picked up national franchising awards in both countries and added sound systems, gaming consoles, computers, furniture and fitness equipment to their rental range. Glen Hickman says they learnt a lot from those early days.
We were new to the rental business at that time, and we were learning as we were going, and we made mistakes. You know, those mistakes, they cost us time, money, effort. But what we did do is we created systems and processes that would make sure that it wouldn't happen again, no matter who was running the business. We actually documented all those systems and processes, and actually that's what has become the Mr. Rental operational manual.
So how would you describe the company now and what are its prospects for growth?
Actually, our company's at a very good place at the moment. It's a fantastic time to actually get on board with Mr. Rental. We now have a brand, and that brand awareness is growing on a daily basis. We have the ability as well to market on mainstream media, so we can further build our brand. We have a footprint that covers most of Australia, and we therefore have the ability to service that demand. Also, economic times. Our business is good when the economy is good, but it's exceptionally good when there's any uncertainty. People tend to conserve their cash and rentals go up.
Of course you rent a lot more than video players now. Can you describe the range of things that you have on offer?
Yeah, our original range has grown tremendously. We virtually now have anything going from white goods, audio visual, communications being computers, furniture and fitness equipment. So virtually fill a house these days. Come a long way as far as product goes.
So how positive are you about the appliance rental industry? How do you see it growing?
Look, I'm very, very positive. As I just said, in uncertain times, people conserve their cash. They still need appliances, so a lot more people rent than they normally would. There's also obsolescence happening now in our industry. It's been there right from the start with, say, like the likes of computers, but computers now are not so much only a business tool, they're also an everyday tool for communications, access to the internet and so forth. Obsolescence on computers, the new technologies. If you even look at panel televisions, if you wanted the latest and best television in the last few years, you would have been upgrading every 6 months or so. So there's a big advantage in being able to get the new product, and there's no penalty for returning the old one. So I can see a great future for rentals.
And of course Gen X and Gen Y want everything and they want it now.
Exactly, latest and the best, they want it now. Yes, it really suits the rental industry.
How does Mr. Rental stand in terms of brand recognition now?
Yes, we worked very, very hard on getting our brand up there in the last few years. Actually 3 years ago we had a brand awareness of less than 3%, and we're now at 44%. We actually use an independent company to survey where we are and how our brand is growing. This company also does focus groups for us to help us see what the customer is actually after. So we do that actually on an annual basis.
And you brought in your Mr. Rental and the Rental family. They've doubtless helped with your brand awareness.
Certainly, certainly. When we were strategising about how to take our brand forward, part of the strategy was to get a logo or an image or a brand that actually had cut through. And that's when we came up with the Mr. Rental character, very recognisable, certain characters there that we put in, like honesty, integrity, and we wanted a fun thing. We also came up with the logo of keeping life simple, and that's what really rentals are about. You have a need for an appliance, simply get on the phone, It turns up, there's no commitment other than a minimum term. You can return the gear when you need to upgrade.
You've talked about the magic of recurring revenue. What is it that makes Mr. Rental such an attractive proposition for potential franchisees?
Oh, to me, recurring revenue is the most exciting thing, and for franchisees as well. In a traditional business, if you think about it, they make a sale and they get paid for that sale. Now, if they're a very, very good business, they might get that customer back once, maybe twice. So they might make 3 sales to that customer, but traditionally just once. When at Mr. Rental you make the sale, you get paid over and over and over. And that revenue just keeps building and building and building. Yes, recurring revenue is fantastic.
So what sort of people are you looking for as potential franchisees?
Well, our franchisees come from all walks of life. We have bank managers, people who have been bank managers, accountants. We've got quite a few franchisees that have come from the land, been farmers, government jobs, virtually all walks of life. But the franchisees that we have that are successful, and this is what we look for in potential franchisees now, are people that have commitment. Commitment to their success, commitment to where they are in life and where they are going. And there's another trait that they all have as well, and that's an attitude of can-do.
And what about training and ongoing support?
Yeah, the Mr. Rental training program consists of 10 days of intense training. That's around the operational side of Mr. Rental. There is something that we realise, and is part of training as well, and that is essential, and we do put a fair bit of work into personal development of franchisees. In the end, it comes down to how good the franchisee is, and that's about personal development. We also have follow-on training. We have quarterly training or retraining for franchisees and their teams. So we have a quarterly training program. A lot of that is probably role specific. So if a new team member comes on, they can come in and be trained up at our quarterly trainings. We have business coaches, dedicated business coaches for every franchise, and the part of their job is to share what's happening in the network, but also create action plans and an accountability to the action plans.
Can you give an indication of the financial arrangement, how much franchisees are expected to put in?
A franchisee would need between $250,000 and $300,000 to start up. That covers all training, store fit-outs, and the initial stock. They will need the ability to access ongoing funding for equipment and stock.
So it's a great success story. You must be really proud.
Very, very proud. A bit of a story. When I was actually still out there doing the work, doing the deliveries, I was driving along one day. I'd just done a delivery, and I had picked up a bit of cash from that, and about $300 in my wallet. And I thought, I really don't have anything or a commitment for this $300. And I'd never had that feeling before. I used to going to work with $5 in my wallet. It's going back a few years. And that was committed. That was for lunch. Okay? I had this feeling. I thought, well, this is a strange feeling. I went home and discussed it with my wife, Kerry Ann, and it was a feeling of financial freedom. And I'd never had it before. And I thought, I wonder how many people out there have never had this feeling. And we just started talking about it. And what we had done, it wasn't that hard. We'd just simply done what had made sense and created a system. And that's when we decided to franchise or to share that. And that's what's pleasing to me now. That's what makes me feel proud, is that we now have over 70 franchises in Australia and New Zealand that have financial freedom. Just a good feeling for me.